sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
Well, hello there, you dirty little hot dogs. Welcome to 10 Drink Minimum. I'm your host, Chris. This edition is sponsored by the Topo Chico Seltzer. Holly Ann Bird is in the house. Here. And I'm sharing on your page right now. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
Okay.
I'm drinking a Topo Chico, so I'm feeling better now.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm better now. Let's show that we're live here. Let's see. Do I have Smileys in the house?
I am here.
Is that back door still open?
And late, you want me to close that?
Yeah, I would really like that. I was waiting for you to come in to close it. But
okay, I thought you were just like making an aesthetic choice.
I am not.
All right, I'll be right back.
I am not. And we have a special guest in the studio. Ooh, I got a little choked up there. We have, I would say, kind of the definitive downtown local official, unofficial photographer, Nathaniel Tetsuro Paolinelli. I probably fucked that up. Let me hold on. I don't think it. There. Go ahead, Trey.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. How do you say the last name?
Paolinelli.
Okay. See, I was hoping Smiley would be here to help me, but
I meant to be.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could have told you how to say his last name.
Yeah. No, we've been talking to your roommate, and he's been filling us in on your lifestyle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh fun.
We know more about you now than we ever have.
That's probably true. Oh, you have an inside man now.
We do. And Nathaniel, you've known Smiley since he was a baby.
I've known Smiley since day one, basically.
So
basically forever.
So we now have a lot of questions for you, more than we did before.
Well, I know what the wavy hour is going to be about now.
Smiley, right? We all tell us about Smiley's childhood. We'll get to that.
We can get to that.
So
yes.
I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I mean, I've been following you on Instagram. I don't know, for a while. I guess we've met each other, And I'm an ass, and I didn't remember. I'm stupid, terrible with that kind of shit. And we have friends together with let's see which tab. There we go. Bueno, or our friend Bueno.
Oh hell yeah!
So, looking at your Facebook here, so you're pretty much. I mean, are you specifically like downtown, like Chicano culture, or like?
No, not at all. But I do photograph a lot of that because it's right here.
Yeah, and I mean, you do a really great job at it too. It's like, it's really amazing how you can, especially at night, really make the colors pop off like that.
What I love about your work is literally looking at this photo or a great number of your photos. It's literally just New Mexico captured.
Yeah.
Like the whole culture.
Oh, absolutely. Like if someone was like looking at your stuff that didn't live here, first of all, they would think we all drove lowriders. Like everybody's driving a lowrider.
That's how we look here, man. What are you talking about?
Right. But I mean, you really capture kind of the soul of, I would say, specifically like the Sunday cruise culture, that you really don't see anywhere else. I mean, I think maybe in LA they might have it. I don't know.
I think LA is a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we're not the only place, but we are really unique in the sense. I mean, you don't see this everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool.
And for such a small town, we do have a lot of...
Pull that mic over that way for you. There we go. There, yeah.
I was saying, that does sound better.
Yeah.
For such a small town, we do have a really big community of people that are into lowriders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is pretty crazy. And I mean, what people like, I love that. I
Whoa.
love that. They're just like jumping.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, and they're just jumping right down there on 8th Street.
And it's really interesting to see, because like the thing too is for a lot of people, their window into it was like, back in the day you would have like, the movie American Me or the movie Blood In Blood Out, into that culture, and not, and you don't see it as much. But I feel like looking at your Instagram, you really kind of grasp, how much love, how much I don't know how to really say this, but like how much people have not only embraced, but it's their culture. It's like their lifestyle.
It is their lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's everything that they do.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing. I mean,
And there's like hundreds of thousands of dollars put into these cars. I mean, the paint jobs alone
Yeah.
so
are just thousands of dollars,
Oh, definitely.
and just works of art.
really works of art.
It cracks me up because like I was last year I was in Washington D.C. and one of my, I had to go for work, and they were like, well, what do you want to do when you're here? And I was like, well, I want to take like a half day, and I want to go to one of the Smithsonian's. I want to go to the Smithsonian Museum of American History, because there's 17 Smithsonians. I didn't know that. There's 17 different ones. So I go to the American History one. I walk in the door. What was the first thing I saw? What do you think?
It was a lowrider.
It was a lowrider from Espanola. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, first of all, it was amazing.
Right.
And I think I recognized the car, because I think it's been, you'll see it on Instagram. But it was like, I guess whatever month I was there, it was, I think it was last November. It was National Hispanic Culture Month. And so, boom, they have this lowrider. And I see a lowrider, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. And then I walk up, and I was like, Espanola? I was like, that's fucking really cool. Do you ever go up there and like take photos? I saw you did. You were coming through there.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been up there a couple times and photographed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do people now like automatically know, like do they see you now? Like, have you become a name in that community, and everybody's like, oh, he's gonna take a picture?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So how did you get into all this? I mean, where did this become? Like, how first of all, how did you get into photography?
So how did I get in photography? Think about that. It's a good question.
How long? How long ago was it?
How long? It was definitely later in life. I think I was 33, 34 when I bought a camera for the first time.
What was the first camera?
It was a Nikon D3400.
Okay.
Amazon. It was $400.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the most expensive camera I'm ever gonna need.
And it was not.
It was for many years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I feel like I really got into photography about 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, but definitely that's
Right.
about, I've been going pretty strong at it for about that long.
Okay.
I've had a camera longer, but
What was your idea of doing it? Like when you first started?
when I first started, I think when I first started, I really I gravitated towards the tech part of it.
Okay.
I'm kind of a tech nerd, and I like
Yeah.
the camera, the technology, and I always like people. So those two together, I was just taking photographs of people, but not with really any intention or anything.
Right. So, I mean, was your first camera, was it digital or was it?
It was digital.
Yeah. Have you ever shot with film? Yeah.
And I mean, I guess, as a kid, I had cameras and I was photographing stuff, but it was mostly just documenting everything around me. I
Yeah.
guess I do that now too, but I didn't think of myself as a photographer.
Okay. Interesting. What was the moment you thought of yourself as a photographer?
I guess maybe when I got my second camera, I was like, okay, I'm into this. And I guess that maybe that was 5-10 years ago or something.
Yeah. When you because you have your first camera, you're like, okay, if this doesn't work out, I bought one camera, whatever. But once you like move on to that second camera, you're kind of like, well, this is what I'm doing.
Right. I mean,
Right?
That's
That
what I
makes-
do.
that
I
makes
buy
sense.
cameras.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else though. I buy
Yeah.
photography gear.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Lighting and
Not
No?
really.
No?
I mean, I have some lights, but that's not really my thing.
no.
No.
Yours is natural light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. And, but I only. It's not even that I'm looking for light. To be really honest, I'm not out there looking for light. I'm looking for people.
Right.
And when I find them,
Stories.
I take photos wherever they at, whatever light there is. That part doesn't matter to me. If there's nice light, that's a bonus. But I'm not there for the light.
You just fix it in post if it's too much.
Not really. I mean, no. If it's too dark, I'll make it brighter.
Yeah,
That's about it.
interesting.
Yeah.
I love this.
Why?
I don't know. That's just the. He's like, yeah.
Well, no, that's. I mean, this is the process is
The
what
process is amazing,
Yeah.
dude. Whatever. Like,
I mean, I
you
definitely
get some of the best shots I've seen.
Oh, thank you.
You do, yeah.
That's really like phenomenal.
I think
honestly.
you're the first photographer that's ever been on this show. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Does Candace count?
No,
She's a photographer.
she is.
She
But
is
I mean,
a photographer.
I mean, but we didn't have her on as a photographer. We
Did
weren't like
did
talking
you ever
about-
on for music?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we didn't have her on. Yeah, I don't think we talked about it one time. So I mean, that doesn't count. So
Okay, fine.
that doesn't count. Smiley, no.
So my dad is a photographer. I mean, he's pretty good. He's also a tech guy, which I find interesting. I think that's how he got into it as well. But one thing that I learned is he also doesn't like to carry around lights. He doesn't like.
Yeah.
And when he lived in Germany, and we would walk around Europe, and he would sit and stare at something for what felt like an eternity. And then all of a sudden he would take one picture and then walk away and he'd be like, I got
wow.
it. And I always thought, didn't you want to take like more than one?
you'd think that,
because
right?
what if like it wasn't? And then he shows the photos and now he has them in his
okay.
home. I'm like, holy shit. And I said, that's what you were staring at, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, that's why I don't need lights. Because I stare and I learn. And
Yeah.
is that kind of what you do as well?
No, not really. So, I mean, photography is almost a secondary part to what I'm doing. I don't know. What am I doing? I'm just kind of exploring the world around me, and I'm talking,
Yeah.
and I'm
makes
meeting people,
Well, there's that. I mean, and I
and-
mean, your pictures kind of tell a story.
and I'm telling a story,
Yeah.
and I'm using the camera to tell that story. But I'm not, I'm not there like meet me at 5:00 when the light is
Right.
good and let me
Yeah.
take a picture of you.
And
I
see
mean,
that,
and I don't come at it that way, and so I'm kind of really in the moment when I'm photographing, and it's just like whatever is around, I'm going to take the picture, and it doesn't matter what the light looks like, it doesn't matter what the scene is, because I'm just capturing whatever is happening at that moment,
Yeah.
and who's over there. It's about the people, really. That's what it's about, because all my photographs mostly have people in them. 'Cause
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't, like your dad, I couldn't stand somewhere for half an hour and wait for the light to be perfect on like a tree or something or
Well,
whatever
my
it is.
favorite thing about it is I always thought that he was waiting for light or something, but he also likes to take pictures of people
he was waiting for people to
enjoying
walk in.
things.
yeah,
And or his favorite his favorite photo he has is literally just a lens from a pair of glasses that fell out in some rocks.
Oh, see,
And that was it. And it was because to him, and anybody else looks at it, it's a beautiful photo objectively. But to him, he knows the story behind, like the old lady dropped them and then her husband was irritated.
Right.
But anyway, I always think it's interesting to see photographers, especially when they take pictures of people or things like that, because you're not even waiting for a light to hit. You're waiting for
yeah.
all the things,
You're waiting for that moment to happen.
the magic.
Yeah. Well, and it's awesome to hear that, because like we kind of live in a culture now where it's all about the photograph and it's all about staging it. It's all about, how you can make the audience perceive a certain thing, like maybe your life is amazing or
Right.
Everyone around you is amazing. And it's almost like it's to the point where it's weird to me, where like if I go on someone's Instagram, I can go, okay, they're staging every one of these photographs. And it's like, if you go through someone's Instagram page and they have no candids whatsoever, their life is just they're trying to be, and so it's refreshing to see candids. You know what I mean? Like a picture where the person not necessarily knew you were taking the photo, and they didn't have to run over and go, let me approve this. You may have to delete it. That kind of shit. And
I hate that.
that's the world we live in now. And I just wonder if like that's kind of part of what you're doing, is like just trying to capture life like as it's happening.
That's yeah. That's I guess that's somewhat what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm I'm inserting myself in these situations with my camera and I'm there kind of as a participant at the same time. I'm not just taking creeper candid shots from the from the back. But what I'm doing is I'm just hanging out like we're here. We're hanging out, and I'm taking pictures every now and then.
I'm going to need to see those after you before you leave. I'm just kidding.
Don't let him do it, man. This guy will turn them all down.
I'm kidding. I'm
not
kidding.
That one.
I already tagged
kidding.
you on Facebook.
Damn it.
But that's what I like doing. It's just like, but it has to be interesting for me. It's like I don't want to go someplace that's not fun for me to be.
Right.
If there's somewhere that I like the people, I like what's going on, I just want to be there.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes it's not people that I hang out with every day or people from, you know, my culture or my world or whatever.
Right.
But I like going into someone else's world. And kind of getting permission to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and be part of it too.
Right.
And that's the thing, you know, hang out.
Well, I mean, how long? Okay. So a lot of times, like, and also little Bobby Tucker says, great shots on your Instagram, by the way. He's looking at it.
Your Instagram is my new favorite, by the way.
Right. And that's why I kept looking at his Instagram. I was like, we got to get this dude on the show. But like, how long did it take before, or maybe still does, before you do go into like in an environment and people, number one, they trust you. They're not just like, who the fuck is this guy with a camera clicking pictures? Like, is that something that takes a while, or have you made a name enough where it's like
it really just depends, but kind of right away.
Really?
You know, and
people like it. I feel, right.
People like it, and I'm not there with any bad intentions, and I don't make it I don't make it a big production.
I mean, you don't look like the cops
when I'm there.
You don't look like a cop. Just kidding.
Right? You know, and it's so obviously the more time you spend with people, the more comfortable they are.
Yeah.
But I can also spend 2 minutes with somebody and be comfortable with them and take a bunch of pictures.
Yeah.
And never see them again.
Okay.
I'm one of those people, the minute I see a camera come out, I stiffen immediately.
Yeah.
And I
Most
don't know
people do.
why, but it just,
This one
and
fell.
so a couple weeks ago, I did a show at Hollow Spirits, and my great friend, Bonnie, she had her amazing photographer friend come out and take pictures of us. I did not like a single one of them, and not because the photographer was bad or anything like that. I don't do well. People have to sneak up on me.
Yeah, a lot of times it's hard to be photographed, and a lot of people don't like their photographs. I mean, some people don't like the photographs I take of them because they don't like the way they look.
The best photograph the other day.
Do they really like they come up to you afterwards and they're like, what the fuck, dude? I had my chin I had my head down and 2 chins were popping out.
No one's ever that mad, but yeah.
I've taken pictures of people and they're like, dude, I had my head down, my chins are popping out, and I'm like, that's what you look like.
Oh, even if I don't like a photo, I just meh. I'm not Giselle Bundchen.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, well, we're gonna have to
I
ask you to
wish.
leave the show. Just kidding. So people do come up and they're like, I don't like the way. Sometimes
Maybe once.
you got in a fight.
You know, the thing, I'm not confrontational.
No.
I don't feel like I'm threatening to people.
Right.
But I'm also not a pushover, you know. It's
Yeah.
like I get permission to be places that I probably shouldn't sometimes, and I enjoy that.
That's nice. Yeah,
You know-
we could say that too.
That's to say, I was like, that's our world too. It's really funny because like we get permission to be in places that like honestly, that's 95% of the reason why I do this show is so I can go do things that most people don't get to do. You know, and it's really fun. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like that kid in you that you're like you're getting to do something that you're like oh geez, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm doing it. It's fun.
Yeah, maybe something if I'm not supposed to be doing it. It's there. I mean, there's so much going on in this world, and you can't do it all.
No.
But if I can get a little peek into a little bit of it, that's what I
Yeah.
want, you know. And I like that.
What's the coolest thing you ever got to photograph?
Gosh, I don't know. That would be tough.
Oh wow.
The
What
coolest
was your
thing.
What's the
favorite place you got to peek into?
Yeah.
The favorite thing. Well, I guess I don't know if it's a favorite, but a really interesting thing that I got to peek into was a Mongol's funeral
Oh, really?
that I photographed.
Like a motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Gee,
That
I bet
was,
that was
that was definitely I think the most serious thing I felt like that I've been to by myself.
Hunter S. Thompson style shit.
It was I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking a little intimidated for sure. You know, it's they're the real deal.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you a little bit? Or was it exactly what you expected?
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, because that's not something you get to see very often. And I had a front row seat to it.
Right.
Wow.
So
And not
that
only a
was
front row
interesting.
seat to it, but everybody was cool with it.
Everybody was cool with it.
And that's the part that's
I had
interesting.
permission to be there, and everybody was cool with it. And normally you couldn't walk around guys like that with a camera and take
No.
their picture.
No.
So-
I mean, especially when they're paranoid of, like, they don't know you. They don't trust you.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, you're there taking photos of them. It could be, it could be a dangerous situation pretty quick.
Definitely.
Yeah. Craig Buchanan asks, what is your photograph bucket list?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Bucket list. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. There isn't I don't have an end goal. I'm really just documenting the people and places around me.
Yeah.
And I want to keep doing that and there's so much of it here in Albuquerque.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I feel like I've only scratched the surface.
Does it
know?
really, like, you grew up here,
I
of
did.
course.
Mhm.
Does it shock you? So, like, there's Albuquerque Reddit and all that stuff. Does it shock you when people are like, I moved here and there's just nothing to see here? And like, this is literally what someone said today. There's nothing to see here. And then somebody's, what about our beautiful skies? And they're like, oh, the smog-filled skies. And I'm like, I don't even
Where
know
are
what
you
the
at?
fuck you're talking about.
You know, anywhere you go, it doesn't matter what town you're in, there's
Right.
going to be haters that hate on it.
Oh, sure.
And people hate on Albuquerque all the time. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Could be better. There could be more money. There could be more things to do, but there isn't. And it's still great.
Yeah.
I've been to lots of places. I've traveled around the world, and Albuquerque is a pretty nice place to live.
It is.
All things considered.
I'm with you.
Took me 5 minutes to drive here. I parked right in the driveway.
That's right.
You can't do that in
No.
a big city.
No. Billy Spyro says photography is always telling a story. One of my hobbies, but I haven't been able to do it as much of late. He's a friend of mine. He's like a hobbyist and but he takes really good pictures. But like one thing is he's like, I can take pictures of landscapes. He's like, I can't take pictures of people. What is like your weakness? What is this thing that's hard for you to take pictures of?
Landscapes.
Landscapes.
You know, I have all these like landscape fantasies. Taking a picture of the moon coming into the Sandias
Yeah.
or some desert. And I like that. Like in my head, I own a tripod. I want to do that. I've tried. I just can't do it.
Oh wow.
I mean, not that I
Not
can't do
enough
it.
people.
I get bored after a while.
Yeah.
When is
my-
someone gonna walk in front of the moon?
Yeah,
But I like to look at photos like that. I'm like, I want
Yeah.
to make one of those.
They're
I-
beautiful.
I just
My
don't have the
husband does
patience.
that stuff.
Yeah, see, it's great.
And I didn't know that until
Oh, yeah.
we had lived together for a while. And he had all this equipment. And it takes a lot of equipment to get, not a lot of equipment, but
It does though.
Are you
He,
talking about like
Yeah.
astrophotography?
yes, he
Yeah,
loves
that
it.
takes. Yeah.
And he set up a tripod, and then it's literally just waiting for hours and hours. And if something happens, we have a lot of cats that live around our house. They walk into the tripod, move it a millimeter.
It's all over.
It's all over. And to me, that is more stressful than the worst comedy set I've ever done in my life.
Oh, I wouldn't listen. You said your husband's a tripod? All right. Cool. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's not.
Oh wow.
Ow. Ouch. I didn't say it, Amster. I don't know. I don't know.
He earned that one today. If he hears that, he knows.
Yeah, they're saying landscape is about patience and it's rough.
Yeah, I can't. And he has patience in spades. I don't know where it comes. He doesn't have patience like for many other things. I
Right.
mean, but he makes beer for a living. That takes some patience.
Yeah.
And then the landscape photography. I had never seen how much work goes into
What goes into it?
those photos you see on Instagram that are so beautiful and you could stare at them forever. They take a lot
It takes
of time.
takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So is the funeral, the Mongol funeral, the most dangerous situation you've been in?
I don't feel like it was dangerous because
Okay.
They're vulnerable at that moment. I
well,
feel like.
well, I mean, you know, for me, I don't think I was in any
Right.
danger there. I mean,
Right.
I had the right permission from the right people to be there,
Okay.
and everyone was cool to me.
But have you ever been in like a really, hair-raising, situation where you just kind of happened in it while you're taking pictures? I mean, we do live in Albuquerque.
I feel like down in Juarez on the border, I've been in situations that felt dangerous. Definitely there.
Yeah.
That's scary down there.
Right.
When you're there with a camera.
I bet.
Different
I
world.
bet.
But Albuquerque, no, because I don't put myself in dangerous situations. Maybe I put myself next to dangerous people sometimes.
Sure.
But I don't feel like I put myself in a dangerous situation when I'm there. I mean, these guys can be super great guys, and they really are until they're not.
Right.
Right. But you just don't want to be on that side of them.
Well, and it's about respect.
Mm-hmm.
Those when you get into those worlds, it's a lot about respect. You respect people, and they respect you. And after a while, like if you're in well enough, then they'll protect you as well as they protect their family. It's really crazy. It's like, and that's why I like Albuquerque. That's why I love Albuquerque. Is like we were talking about going all over the world. We have a very unique culture here.
We really do.
And it's when people talk about it, they're like, well, from the outside they don't understand. It's like we don't have a lot, but what we have, we're like insanely proud of it.
Yeah.
And like the car culture, like lowrider. Like if all of a sudden Denver's like we're the lowrider capital of the world, we might burn it to the ground. You know what I mean? It's one of those, the green chili, like,
We'll go up there and fight.
Yeah.
Well, they had a balloon fiesta also.
I saw that.
They're just trying to steal our shit.
It's crazy.
It's because they're not as cool as us.
Well, I was trying to think of this, like,
There's beautiful things in
Yeah.
Denver that they should be proud. Be proud of yourselves,
Well,
Denver.
They have a better ski culture than we
Yeah.
do. Like,
Yeah.
go with that.
There you
Lean
go.
into that, Denver.
well, I was trying to think of that, like, what is a food of Colorado? Like, what is their food, Like here, we have the green and red chili.
That's a good question.
And,
What is the food of Colorado that's
Right.
not been imported in by
Right.
other people?
I mean, we have New Mexican food, and and the thing with New Mexican food is like, depending on where you are in the state, it's different, and there's no one like, this is how New Mexican food is. It's like you go to the eastern part, it's different. You go to the northern part, it's different. So Colorado, it's like, what is the food there? And they're like, the green chili. I'll murder every one of you. We're gonna kill you. No.
I can't think of an original thing I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a Denver omelet.
Oh, there you go.
There it is.
The Denver omelet.
Is that like their pride and joy?
I do
I guess
enjoy
so,
a
the
Denver
Denver
omelet.
It's something they have.
Yeah.
But it's
It's named
better if
after
you add
them.
green chili to
It
it.
is.
Oh,
right.
wow.
or some
So much better.
some red.
Or some
Put a little red on the top of it. Like
Christmas it out.
like I can't eat eggs
I'm gonna Google
Without-
this. I can't.
like chili on. Like I just can't do it. It's not a thing. And I don't know. Yeah. So like the fact, I don't know what Colorado, like Arizona. What's an Arizona food?
Like we're okay. Where else do you go where you have to like? I would like my eggs dry.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
what do you mean? I'm like, I mean, don't put any like sauce on it
Right.
because that's what you do here.
They do have a hell of a beer culture. I mean,
Rocky Mountain oysters. is theirs.
that is okay. I would not. There's no way you go to Colorado and everybody's like, you got to try those. Right?
I mean, they are good.
you like cow balls? Mm.
Cow ball.
I've never had them.
Cow fries
It-
are like my or
When they
calf
fry them up,
fries,
when you go to a calf fry and
amazing.
they fry them up, it tastes like chicken fingers, kind of.
It's better than chicken fingers.
Jesus.
Depending. I'm sorry.
We're
Calf
learning.
fry.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it's called.
I've
Yeah.
never had those.
So I grew up on a farm and ranch, and like in the spring you have what's cutting season, and you bring in all the calves and you
Cutting season.
Yeah, you bring in all the calves and you brand them, and if you aren't gonna make a male a bull, you cut their balls off so they don't get the testosterone and they don't bulk up. Because if you have more than one bull, they'll kill each other.
Yeah.
And then the steer, which is the bull with no balls, they instead of getting muscle, they just kind of stay fat, and that's the good meat that you're eating. That's good beef.
That's the yum yums.
Yeah.
And
so
calf fries are delicious.
so you take all the cow balls and then you invite a bunch of people over and have a party, and you fry up the balls with batter them up, and
I need to go.
Yeah.
I need to go to one of those.
yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, it's like the West Texas version of a matanza, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Also, they're known for bison.
What?
Yeah. Because it's apparently bison meat in Colorado is 84% of their meat or something.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
This is just a low like a
Why
quick
don't
Google.
they like Like promote that more.
Because
We have
it's not
bison.
as cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
I mean, bison is also delicious. And then you look at the rest of the thing, and it's like green chili cheeseburger. That is not yours.
That's not theirs,
They,
man.
they can't have that. That's not right.
Don't you be stealing? Don't you be stealing from us?
lobster macaroni and cheese. I highly
What?
doubt that is
What?
invented in Colorado.
Wow.
That's not Colorado.
They just rip shit off, man. That's what they do. It's like Colorado. We like to bite shit. Man.
Yeah,
Pineapple upside down
Yeah.
that cannot
pancakes.
be right. Pancakes? Okay.
But like pineapple
Pineapple
isn't
upside-
from there.
Right. This is just terrible.
Somebody once asked me, so it's
Do they
along
just
these same
do they just go on
lines.
vacation and steal shit from
Yes,
everybody?
that's what they do.
Should we feel bad for Colorado?
No.
No.
We're just like, oh, those poor guys. Like, what? Are they really going to come in and take green chili? And like, we had weed for a month.
Yeah.
So I went to visit my family down in Alabama. I have some family down there. And they were kind of making fun of, like, I brought hot sauce with me and
Yeah.
green chili and things like that because they don't season things down there. I mean, they do.
Not the same
Not
way.
my family. Okay. White people down there don't
Mm-hmm.
season things the way that I like things seasoned.
Right.
And they were making fun of me. And I said, what original thing did you guys even have? What, mayonnaise?
Fried chicken.
I mean, fried chicken.
When you go down in the South, there's
Yeah, but
fried
they-
chicken everywhere.
But white people stole
never
that from
been.
other people too.
So,
Sorry.
the South. Okay, my old roommate, his new roommate, like he'd never been to the South either, and I'm like, it's weird. The United States is like multiple countries, but all in one country. It's weird. So the South is kind of its own like country,
Yeah.
and the two things they have down there is like fried chicken and sweet tea. And when I say sweet tea,
I've had
it's
the sweet tea.
Sweet.
have you had the sweet tea down in the South though?
No.
It's
Oh,
like
it's-
it's like you might need to go to the dentist as soon as you drink some of it.
You forgot catfish.
Catfish.
Oh yeah,
fried
catfish.
catfish.
I guess they do have catfish,
I
but
guess
Well-
I've been to Louisiana.
Well,
the South.
that's Louisiana's not the whole South. Like
Yeah,
their food is
not the deep South.
yeah. It's like they don't have food like that like everywhere. Like because like that's why I wouldn't say that. But like when I was down there, my family lived in Mississippi for a while, and I would go down there and visit. And you go to these small towns, and like how we have like mom and pop like Mexican food places, they have mom and pop fried chicken places.
yeah, and they're delicious.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's and then like the po' boy. The
Oh
po'
my
boy
God.
sandwich is a big deal.
Don't even get me started on
You know,
po' boys. They're
but that's
so
kind
good.
of that coastal down there. But
That's
like
the coastal ones, yeah.
But the sweet tea shit, man, like I would go, hey, can I get some iced tea but with no sugar in it? And they would be like, look at me like I was a fucking maniac.
Daryl, you,
What's wrong
you
with
should
this
just get
guy?
some coffee then.
Yeah, yeah. I might,
If you just need the caffeine,
yeah, I'm talking
called
like you know how
coffee.
like they make tea in those big like metal
The big metal containers.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they'll pour a pound of sugar in that.
Yeah.
every time.
I'm not kidding, and it's like God, like, whew, it's
Yeah.
weird, but it's a different world down there.
It's a different world.
Really
but
pretty though.
I did make fun of my family and ask
Mayonnaise.
them if that's their
Yeah.
cuisine,
I,
and they were not happy about that.
well,
Also, mayonnaise is delicious.
I'm not a fan
some
of it.
things.
I'm not a
Yes.
fan. People are like, they're like, oh, you're white. You probably love
Whoa,
mayonnaise.
whoa,
I was like,
hold on.
I don't.
You don't like mayonnaise?
I don't.
Do you like Miracle Whip?
Why?
No, hell no.
My
it's the
family
same
and I
thing down
fight.
It's
no,
like it's like sugar.
not.
It's like sugar mayonnaise.
Yeah, Miracle Whip is different.
It's different.
Yeah.
I can make mayonnaise at my house. I don't know how Miracle Whip is made.
I think you
Oh,
add
well, that's just
paprika
some,
and sugar to
weird
it.
synthetic,
Yeah.
like
With sugar
big
in it.
food shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
it has a different taste, and I'm pretty sure.
I
can
thought
just
as a
do
kid,
that
I
with a
thought it
whisk.
was mayonnaise, and then I remember like I liked Miracle Whip as a kid because it was sweet, and then I had mayonnaise for the first time. I was like, oh, this is gross. I do not like it. I'm like everybody's like white people and their mayonnaise. I'm like I don't eat mayonnaise. I love mustard, all different kinds of mustard. I have
Mustard's good.
I have a mustard shelf in the fridge, but like, I always wonder like people come here and it's whenever like at my work, if people come into town from out of town, we take them to Sadie's because it's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
And so that's my question for you. You've grown up your whole life. Like, when you go away for a while, and when you come back, where do you go? Where's your or do you want to bring it up? Because sometimes you don't want to bring it up. You don't want people to.
I don't know if I want to blow the spot up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to tell a story about last night. So, the guy that runs music around, his name's Maurizio, listens to the show religiously. We're at the Night Living cover bands. We're getting drunk. And and at the end, he's I'm gonna walk home, and he's like, "Do you want to ride?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So me and Marty and his girlfriend and Mauricio and his wife get in the van. Door shuts. He starts the car, starts driving. He goes, "So, Chris, where's your burrito spot at?" And I'm like, the one that I won't tell. I won't talk about on the podcast.
So you have a secret late night burrito spot?
No, morning. And
It's hard to find good
and then
breakfast
his wife goes, "That's why he offered to give you a ride home, because he wanted to get you in the car so he could ask you."
Your burrito spot.
We'll have to talk.
I
After
guarantee
this.
I guarantee you know it. I would 100% be shocked if you didn't know it. It's like over here. It's not far.
Oh, you mean
I know it.
this one over here? I mean,
we'll talk at the break. But I see, that's a thing, right? Like, see, you're like me. You're like, I don't want to blow it up. You know what I mean? And like, you don't want to get there, and there's like California and Texas
there's
plates.
too many people moving here.
There's too many people moving. How do you feel about that?
You know, I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, I guess overall, maybe it's good for the economy or something.
I guess.
But I don't like it. There's too many people coming here. It's driving the price of the houses up.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
And,
That's that.
Yeah.
Man, we had in our neighborhood. So I was telling somebody that they were like, "Why do you hate people moving here? It's so great to have people."
No, it's
moving
not.
here."
Who the fuck thinks that?
And we had a neighbor.
Not people in the South, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. We had a neighbor. I think they were squatting in the house. Their kids were great. They were weird. Their house.
I mean, that's very New Mexican. They're
It is.
squatting in the house.
And the house always looked crazy on the outside, so I knew something was up. It went on the market. It was trashed. I mean, I was horrified that children were living in there.
No.
But I don't know if maybe they trashed it before they left. I have no idea what the situation was. I'm hoping that's what it was, because they seem like lovely people.
Yeah.
But they put it on the market, and I was shocked.
How fast this sold?
No, at how expensive. I mean, it did sell pretty fast, but it
And
was
they put it on the market sold like as is.
as is.
Well, that's some terrible shit right there.
And it listed for like $350,000, and I was like, "What are you paying for?" It's basically a shack.
Okay, I bought this house. It'll be 3 years in January, and it's already gone up $100,000.
You know, it's
Oh,
crazy.
Sounds crazy, right?
Isn't that nuts? And everybody's like, well, good for you. And I'm like, good for me what? Like, if I sold it tomorrow, sure. But I live here. The last thing I want is for them to go, oh, your house now appraises for this much.
You pay more
That
taxes.
means your property
Taxes.
taxes
Your
go up.
property
Yeah.
taxes are going to go up, and it already did go up a fuckload.
Fuck
And
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it went up $150 a month. And everybody's like, Jesus. I'm like, what did you do to your house? Nothing.
Yeah.
People moved in, and it's fuck. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But I think a lot of people just don't understand how life works.
Yeah, I got a bunch of new guns though, so I'm just gonna shoot them. Just keep shooting them. Just keep shooting them.
Just keep shooting.
That
Yeah.
doesn't do nothing.
I know it doesn't work
obviously.
anymore. It doesn't work anymore, right? Used to you could just keep the
I keep the gunshots in the front of my house, just as like a little silent signal
Oh.
to my landlord.
Yeah.
I'm like, were you gonna riz the rent,
Yeah.
or did you want to fix some of these gunshots?
right. I did that. Okay,
That's what I thought.
So the last
Just
time,
keep it the way it is.
so the last time I rented, back when I lived with Billy, we lived in the Rosemont house. Every bad thing that happened, I told the landlord about.
you have to. You're like, what? You're not raising.
I was like,
Did you see this?
I was like, yeah, those neighbors, man. He'd be like, how is everything? And I'd do it like I was gossiping. I'd be like, oh man, they the neighbor over there was hitting his pit bull with a broom handle, so that those people came out and threatened to kill him. It was quite exciting. And then like our neighbor killed her grandma like in our driveway. So I made sure to bring
Sorry, I
that
didn't mean to laugh at that.
up.
Well, it's just because it's so over the top. But
It's so over the top, right?
It really
Yeah,
did happen.
it really did happen. And then like they found the knife in the trash can. And like I'll tell you this, 7.5 years, our rent never was raised one time. I don't know if it was me that helped it, but I don't know. But you kind of you've got to put the work in so your rent doesn't go up. You
You do.
it's just not gonna. You can't just sit around and let that shit happen. I don't know. So as a photographer, like, what was an aha moment for you where you were like, okay, I get this? or was there any?
I don't think there isn't.
Yeah.
It's this journey that I'm on,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm not there yet. I'm just.
Okay.
I feel like I just started.
Let me ask you this
Hmm.
question: Do you think you're good at it?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. I don't like to say that, like I'm bragging about it, but I feel like I'm good at what I'm doing. But I put my everything into it. I dedicate all my energy, all my time, and years of work into it. So it didn't just happen. I've been trying to do this for a long time.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be like, hey, brag about yourself. My thing is like we live in a culture of artists where so many people have like that imposter syndrome. And it was really cool because someone like we brought this up, I think last show or the show before, and someone like came in and they were like, thank you for talking about that, because like I have that, and like so many people do.
Yeah.
Everybody has it.
Everyone has it.
Everyone has it.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
I still have it, but I tell myself like, if I wasn't good at what I've been doing, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about my pictures at some point.
Absolutely.
And it's like I feel like it's happening enough that
Yeah.
I can be like, okay, you kind of got it a little bit, but you know what? I also feel like, what am I doing?
Right.
Most of the time, I think everyone does. No
For
matter
sure.
no matter what level you are in
Yeah.
your craft, it's
Yeah.
like, do I deserve to be here?
Sure.
I'm faking it.
Yeah.
I'm faking it the whole time, but
Am I
everybody
really
is.
good enough right now?
That's
That's
such,
the thing. Everybody's faking it. That's the secret.
that's
that
the
no one will tell
secret.
you.
Yeah.
Well, and I tell myself all the time that the moment I think I know everything about comedy, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have met older comedians who think they know everything about comedy, and they are the least funny person I've
Yeah.
ever seen because
Because then you
it's-
stop trying.
Yeah, because then you don't care anymore. If you don't care, then why do it?
Well, and like for me, like it's one of those things where I'll think I know a lot about this, and I'll be like, okay, I've got the handle on this, and then someone else will come out and they'll do something, and it just cracks open a whole nother like valve that I hadn't even ever thought about. And
Yeah.
I just tried a new technique of brushing my teeth last week. You'd think I'd have that under my belt, right?
goodness gracious,
I think whatever you do, you always have to
yeah,
keep learning and
Absolutely.
and working at it. And once you stop or think that you're there, then you're done.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
and if you
everything's
think you're
changing.
awesome at something,
Yeah.
you probably aren't.
Well, and my thing to people, I mean, I've been doing this show 17 years. My thing to people is, they're like, how could you have done that? And I'm like, well, because I'm not doing the same show I did the first week I started.
Because it evolves.
Everything evolves, and if you don't evolve it, it's stale, and you're going to walk away from it, and that's okay. That's the one thing that I had to learn as an older adult. It's okay to walk away from things that are not for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like there's so much of this, like, don't be a quitter. Quitters never win. Da 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 da. If it's not something that is working or you're passionate about, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Fuck it.
Don't waste any more time
Yeah.
doing something that you're
Yeah.
not into. Life is short.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's so many things to do.
so many
Yeah.
things to do, so many ways that you could earn a living, so many possibilities.
Yeah.
But everybody is not everybody. Some people are stuck
Yeah.
in that. You know.
I just met a lady who knits things for dollhouses, like itty bitty tiny,
Like
Yeah.
rugs.
little tiny rugs, placemats,
That's
tablecloths.
badass.
That's
She
really
makes
cool,
little
right?
cakes that look like cakes that she knitted, and it was just like I didn't even know there was a need
Right.
for that, and you're doing this every day because you love it,
Well,
and like that's
I
crazy.
tell you this much. If you think about something, you're like, man, I wish I had this. Go search on Etsy if that exists. People, like, you'll be fucking shocked. You'll be like, man, I'd like to get some denim jeans for my wiener dog. Boom, you go in there, and
yeah.
there's like
Someone's made
five people that make, one, they'll have different patterns, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, that's like how
I think it's awesome.
people shit on the internet.
You know what
and-
this tells me is that
What?
you were looking for denim jeans.
Jeans for
No,
your
I
wiener
just
dog.
pulled that out. No,
Sure
but like
you did.
for Christmas gifts, I will like. This is what I do. I will go if I know someone, and I'm like, well, this is what they love. They're into, like, my friend Marty for his birthday. Like, he loves Nintendo, Like he loves the whole like Super Mario, he loves Zelda, all that. I go on Etsy, and this person makes refrigerator magnets that are like the original Super Mario Brothers game, like all the little bricks.
Yeah.
And then a little Mario and a little Luigi and all the little thing. And you could sit there and rearrange them on your refrigerator as a scene from the original Super Mario Bros. Game any way you want, because it's each individual little bricks. And you get like a 25 piece of it. And so you can have like Mario jumping up to hit and the mushrooms popping out. And then the next week you move it all around. And it's like, what the fuck? That is amazing.
Yeah.
But some person, like it's not a company, some person made that.
Yeah.
And I ordered it for him, and he was blown away. And he was like, "I know, it was fucking crazy, right?" But that's
so cool.
That's the world we live in now. It's like,
Speaking of niche thing, so I love the Golden Girls, and somebody got me Golden Girls magnets that I can make into a whole scene if I want to. And I was offended because my 7-year-old the other day was like, "Why do we have these old ladies on our refrigerator?" And I was like, excuse me?
I mean,
You do not talk to B. Arthur that way.
and then I had to take a step back and be like, oh, wait, probably to her, I look like I just have a bunch of little old ladies on my refrigerator that I turn into scenes.
Well, I have this shirt right now, and it's like I took my girlfriend to see The Room. She'd never seen it.
Oh, dear.
And then after that, she got me this shirt, which is all of the people from The Room, but as the Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, I love that.
It's like,
I just saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get it.
All the people from The Room, but in the form of the Reservoir Dogs.
I've been sitting here
really
staring at
is.
your shirt trying to figure it out.
Someone
for
made
a little
that.
bit.
Yeah.
No, but I love this culture of like Etsy and, and mostly Etsy, but just people are able to like sit around and make all kinds of weird shit that people can buy.
It's wonderful. You can get anything you want. Things you didn't even know you needed or existed.
And then like the 3D printer came out, and that shit changed everything. It's like,
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
nuts.
I have a friend who her husband has 7 3D printers because that's the only way to have a business, I guess, because it takes like 75 hours.
Oh,
yeah. And I just came up with the wildest idea for comedy merch.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, I know somebody who has a business making everybody's wildest dreams come true with this like weird printer. And I'm just going to say,
People
just wait.
They're printing houses.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
They print all kinds of stuff. No, it's nuts. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I love when people are weird and crazy and do crazy weird things.
So if somebody's out there that wants to get into photography, after you say don't, what do you tell them? I'm just kidding. You probably don't say don't.
I say if you want to explore it, go for it.
Yeah.
Try it out. It's just a tool. You can 1,000 different styles of photography you can do. You can take pictures of insects or whatever.
How did you feel about people taking up photography during the shutdown? It seemed like it was one of those things that took off.
I don't know if it took off. I guess it probably did. Lots of things took off.
Yeah.
I wasn't really doing much photography.
I was cruising. I was cruising around downtown a lot, and like at one point there'd be like 3 to 5 different photographers taking a picture of somebody that was modeling in front of the mural behind the El Rey, or in front of all those when they painted up when everything got busted, all the windows got busted out, and people were, there was always like new photographers doing that, and like I would always see them laying down in the street and taking pictures and all that, which cool, get into it. And I just wonder how many of those people are still at it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully some of them still. There's always people downtown doing some kind of like photo shoot for one thing or another.
Yeah. I always feel like there was a time when people, like when I was doing this and, you'd see new podcasts come out, and I'm very competitive, and I'd be like, oh, are they going to try to take me out? And then they would like, it's one of those things where
they were trying to take us out.
They
Chris.
were. There was a couple that tried to. They did do that. But like for me, it's like photography or podcast, whatever. If you're good at it and you have the passion, you can punch through. If you don't, it won't happen.
I'm not in competition with anybody.
Oh, I had some people tell me they're like, I'm gonna take that dude out.
And like,
I'm kidding.
I don't worry about that. And I know there's that name, and that's a big thing in the whole creative world or whatever. But I'm just doing my thing,
Yeah.
and people can come down there and take all the pictures they want. But
Yeah.
it's like, they're not doing what I do, and it's not that I'm doing something different. I'm just doing me, and it's
Yeah.
kind of maybe different from what other people.
But
are
see,
doing.
that's what shows through. Like, that's the thing that people don't get. They're like, I'm trying to take, like, they're down there like, oh, I'm going to try to get this great shot. You're taking the picture, but you're coming through in the picture, whether you want to know it or not.
I think because I feel like I'm part of it.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And that does make me feel that.
Yeah.
I get a good feeling from being part of a situation, you know, and because but it's like, and I like that, you know, and I like people being comfortable with me. I don't want to take photos of people that are uncomfortable with me being there. I don't, you know.
Do you, I mean, are you, so you are aware? I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's like, this guy's not he's not a fly on the wall. He's there with them.
Yeah, I don't want to be a fly on the wall.
Right.
You know, I want to be part of it.
Right.
You know, not the center of it, but if there's something happening, I want to be part of it, and then I want to capture it the way I see it.
Yeah. And that's cool. I mean, that comes through. I mean, it's a thing. And it's weird, that non-tangible. Because, there's going to be people that are like, what are you talking about? I go look at his pictures, and it's a picture of a dude with a car. Then you're not seeing it all. I mean, it's, it's what comes through. And that's what I saw. Like, I was like, oh, wow, this guy's got, he has an eye. He understands the culture because he's in the culture. Like, he's there in it. I'm not saying you participate and you're that pretty, but you're in it, and you can tell.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm here downtown photographing lowrider stuff, I'm definitely in it, and I like that, and it's, for me, it's fun. It's not going to work. It's just it's hanging out.
Do you make a living doing that? I mean, is this like your only job, or
no? I don't make a living taking pictures downtown. But because of those pictures downtown, I do get jobs.
Oh,
so that'll lead to other things. But do I specifically get paid to stand in the corner with my camera? No. I don't do it for money. I do it because I need to. I do it because I want to be there. That's why I do it. And
it has to come out.
And because of that, it's led to other ways of making money with a camera.
He will do your wedding. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he did.
Will I do your wedding? If you're cool and it's a cool wedding, maybe I'll do it. And I do that occasionally, but it's got to be the right people. And
right aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes sense.
Because, it's a lot of work doing a wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would not. You would have to pay me so much. I'm not a photographer by any means, but that is one of the jobs that I'm like, oh my gosh, if you're just doing Samantha's wedding on a Saturday, that seems like so much work.
Where's the photographer?
And so much pressure. And also, like, Samantha's that are getting married on a Saturday, not cool Samantha's, they are so mean.
They are. I mean, and I've definitely shot maybe about a dozen weddings.
Oh, really?
But,
okay.
It's some of it have been for strangers, but then I got to know them. But it's always been for people that I liked.
Yeah.
So I've never had that issue because I don't want to work like that. If I'm not going to get along with somebody, I'm not going to be there with my camera.
We've podcasted about 12 weddings. No, I'm just kidding.
Could you imagine?
We're sitting there like, oh, here comes the bride. They're gonna. Oh, there's the music. Finally.
Could you imagine
Samantha
really, on that Saturday?
Is he really wearing that suit? Okay.
Commenting.
That'd be funny. We're going to take a break. So where can people find your artwork? Do you have a website?
I do have a website. It's nathanielpaolinelli.com.
Okay.
First and last name.
And then, his Instagram is on the screen.
That's
at
fancy.
Tetsuro 76.
Yes.
Yep. And cool. And he's going to stick around with us for the wavy hour?
Yeah. I'll hang out a little bit.
Sweet.
Talk about Smiley.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, thank God. Holly Ann, what do you got going on?
This Friday, I have my Night of the Living cover comics at Dry Heat Comedy.
Yeah.
And all proceeds will go to suicide awareness and prevention.
Yeah.
And my costume is done, and it looks wild.
Am I still coming in?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
I mean, unless you don't want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. Follow your bliss, Christopher.
Well, yeah.
Royal Wood is going to be Mitch Hedberg, which I think is
Yeah.
worth every penny. Because I can't wait to see
I
that.
can't wait to see that either.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird, and I love it. And that's why I do the show, because this is my favorite night of the whole year. It's when I get to see people do weird shit.
Right.
Kurt Fletcher has not decided what he's going to be.
Really?
So, no. And
Has he narrowed it down?
No. I suggested today that he come as zombie Kurt Fletcher.
Oh.
So if you know Kurt Fletcher and you have a suggestion for him, just
Yeah.
send it, because I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to tell him who he's going to be,
That's
and he's
funny.
not going to like it.
Oh gosh.
I'm thinking about just making him be Carrot Top.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That'd be tough because he'd have to do all the props.
I think he could do it.
In the
I like that.
I think he could
You're
do
all-
it.
Whatever.
how long
It's
is it?
not his
Is
choice.
it 5 minutes? 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay.
I think he could. He does one-liners. I'm
Yeah.
not too mean. He could do a one-liner and like hold a rubber chicken
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, please come raise some money for a good cause and have some fun with us.
Okay.
It'll be fun. And I think that's pretty much all I have going
Yeah.
on. right
Smiley, you still on strike?
Yeah, still on strike, but on the 28th, I'll be at the Night of the Living Cover Bands. On stage, I believe you're on.
Oh well, don't you be blowing up my spots, son.
All right, never
I'll
mind.
blow
never
my
mind.
own spots
All right.
up.
Whoa.
I do believe he'll be, and not
see. We'll
on
see.
the same night.
Yeah.
But I'll be on stage in costume if you wanna
Yeah.
see me. I'll be making drinks and playing a tambourine.
That's right. They said you had to play a tambourine. I thought
Yes.
that. I guess this Friday I will be introducing Holly Ann. I live in cover band, cover comics, as Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Saturday, I will be bringing up Youngsville as Tenacious D, and I will be playing the role of Paul F. Tompkins from the television show Tenacious D.
I love it.
Did you ever see the TV show?
No, I never did.
So on the TV show, they're always like playing an open mic, and the open mic host is played by Paul F. Tompkins, and he's like very straight, and he'll come up there and he'll go, "This next band asked me to read this. Prepare to have your assholes blown out. Welcome to the stage, Tenacious D." And then like the next week, he'll be like, "This next band asked me to read this. If you are ovulating, please step away from the stage, as you will get pregnant." You know, there's like a whole bunch of them, so I'm gonna do a couple of those, and it should be fun. I'm gonna dress up as well,
Nice.
ish. So it's gonna be cool. I want to thank our guests for being on the show, Holly Ann and Smiley. We'll be back here in a little while. We're going to take a quick break, go to the bathroom. And with that, we are
10 drink minimum.
mountain, shine spotlight on the forehead. You absorb the sweat. Tire the voices to the stigma you created, unabated in your head. And I know the floor creaks even when there's no one around. Oh, oh, oh. And I know the floor creaks even when there's no one around. Oh, 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 under control. Did you feel it keep you down? Did you wait another day to hit the ground? Oh, oh, forever explore again. It will be the season of angry triumph. Under control. Did you feel it keep you down? Did you wait another day to hit the ground? Oh, oh, forever explore again. It will be the season of angry triumph. Supposed to live without you. Hear me out, the blame is on me. Me without you makes me strong. There's no use crawling to your doorstep. I'm speaking of wishes, boy, in the days they could be better. Don't assume right. I'm just way high. The world's a ball, and I want it to save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do that? Take a play song. I'm back to my dream of starting my days next to your skin. Chase it on. Was it you? Your face is red as yours. I've got time to park and walk with you to the corner of Richmond. Your apartment's not to let what we strong. There was no use crawling to your dust now. Unspeakable wishes, boring days, they could be better. Noticing I'm just way high. The world's a ball and I wanted to save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do right? Until the play song, I'll be back to my dream of starting my days next to your skin. I'll chase it all, chase it all. Do you hear that sound? It's the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is mine. Look back inside, for the last one right in on this. Come on, just a slice of what we just the same, let's all riddle me a kind of ghosts floating in a maze of my demise. But back set for a certain kind of time machine to take me to the dawn of when we met. Chase it all. Do you hear that sound? It's the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is mine. The back said, for that's alright, I guess. Come on, just a slice of what we have.
Until the world is small, until the voices are not heard at all. Above it all, the wings are see-through, but the world can't see you. The shade fade on the concrete pave, let's cover the earth white. It's hard despite the Arctic ice. Let's cover the earth white. It's hard despite the Arctic ice. Let your body close to mine. Turn it back to the bend as it hurts. Wings will cover both the eyes. All the wax will be gone anymore. Let your body close to
sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks.
Oh, yeah. Now we're at the Billy/Wavy Hour. Sponsored by Topo Chico Seltzer. Yum. I'm a big fan. Holly Ann is with us.
I am here.
Yes. And Smiley.
I am present as well.
Thank God. And then we have Nathaniel.
Also still here.
Say last name again.
Paolinelli.
Paolinelli. Okay. So before we get into the smiliness
Yeah.
of the world, I've got to give out some shout outs from Night of Living cover bands. So I've been to every Friday and Saturday. Mm-hmm. I went one Sunday and I saw someone do, I'm not going to say who they did because it'll call them out, but they did, there was someone real bad.
Oh, no.
And real bad, like squalling. And then I saw someone do the Beatles on a Sunday night, and that was pretty cool. But man, I got to tell you, Friday night, and let me pull my phone up. This band needs a special shout out because they embraced Night of Living cover bands. It is Blue Jay and the Pigeons.
Oh.
They did what Night of Living cover bands is supposed to be. They did the B-52s, which whatever, I'm not, B-52s came out. I listened to when it was on the fucking MTV or radio, I listened to it. There was like 9 motherfuckers on stage, full costumes.
Love it.
One of the women had the big hair beehive.
The beehive.
3. Now let me preface this. You get 20 minutes.
Yeah.
3 wardrobe changes.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
3 wardrobe changes. At one point, they had someone dressed like a rocket ship, someone dressed like an astronaut. They had cardboard art of like the planet when they were doing Around the World.
Wow.
And I was like, what in the fuck, man? This is and it was one of those things like they say, be undeniable.
Yeah.
These guys were like, we're here to fucking kick your ass. If you're not watching us, you're going to get up and watch us. And I was like, dude, that was amazing. And it was great. And like we talked to the guy afterwards, and he's like, I've been wanting to do the B-52. Like the band is like a 50s and 60s doo-wop band.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I've always wanted to do the B-52s, and I never had the talent till now.
I personally love the B-52s. So
and they've been planning this for years, and I
love it.
And they had to be theater kids, right? Because they'd have like full costumes on, and then they'd grab them and just rip them off.
I love it.
Like Velcro. And I was
Wow.
like, what the fuck? It was like, now, then other than that, last night, first of all, Barney shaved off his beard.
What?
Barney's no longer got a
No
beard.
beard?
He looks like, they didn't even recognize him. They stamped him at the door.
I saw pictures and I was like,
Yeah.
I thought Barney was in this lineup. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Barney and Justin, who's the drummer for the Red Light Cameras,
Yeah.
and Brandon from Founders did Blink 182.
Yeah.
And they burned the launch pad to the ground.
I mean, even the video. So I
Yeah.
feel bad because this year I haven't been able
You don't like
to
music,
go out.
it's fine.
No, I do.
It's like $10 a night, man.
It's like what?
It's like $10 a night.
Not if you buy the $50
That's
pass.
true.
Yeah, that's great because I have $50 laying around. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna smack you.
No, this year my family kind of got hit.
Yeah.
My little family
Oh, I understand.
got
I'm
like
just
hit.
fucking-
But I feel bad because
I didn't
this
really
is
listen. You were
the-
hitting your family.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate my family. No, no, I'm definitely not hitting my family.
Yeah.
But I have had to kind of like hunker down this year, and this is usually like my month to
Right.
go out and do stuff. And when I saw the videos
Yeah,
of
it was
them,
crazy.
I was devastated because it looked so amazing.
And then the other one is Billy's band, Black Tie. Well, it's, one of the bands Billy is in, Black Tie. They did Bon Jovi. Even if you don't like Bon Jovi, you sang along, because everyone knows those fucking songs, right? They're like kind of like Journey, where you know those songs. And, there was, I just want to say, a lot of bands have done well, but those were some of the ones that stood out. And I didn't get to see them, but the band that did Marilyn Manson fucking had, like, I will say they were the best costumed band I've ever seen at an Island cover bands. They were head to toe every single member of Marilyn Manson.
What?
I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't know who does their stuff, but like, I mean, they looked like fucking Marilyn Manson. I was like, wow. I saw the pictures and I was like, that's fantastic. Wow. I just like, this is one of my favorite months of the year.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to the Night of Living cover band stuff?
I didn't go this year, but I have been before.
There's still, it's
still going on, right?
Yeah, it's every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday till the end of the month.
Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger every year.
Because it's amazing.
Not every night's been sold out, but most nights have been sold out.
Yeah.
It's been pretty. And here's what always happens. Like, I'll look at the lineup. We'll get there early, and I'm like, I don't really care for half of the bands, like half of the people they're covering, and then people get up there and just fucking make me love it.
Yeah, some of them sound so good.
Oh! Another shout out. Ray Basura, who used to be co-host on the show.
Yeah.
His wife, Valeria, she sings in a band called Alba Karaoke. Uh-huh. They do live band karaoke at Revel.
I love them.
And they did Queen.
Oh.
And she can fucking sing.
Really?
Unbelievably well. And it's one of those things where, and I tell people this, take this seriously. Take Night of Living cover band seriously. Also have fun with it.
Yeah.
And the reason why is I've never gone to Revel to go watch those guys. Now I want to go to Revel and watch those guys.
No, that's amazing. Queen is hard.
Fuck yeah, it is. Freddie Mercury is fucking hard to replicate. Yeah. And she fucking nailed it. Like, we were sitting in the front, and it was one of those things where she starts singing and you have to turn around and go, what in the fuck? And that's what I think, that this is where I feel like people show up to Night of Living cover bands and they're like, well, I don't know these bands. This is where they find out who you are and they'll come out and see you.
Yeah.
This is
like, who did that? Because I want to see them again.
And if you come out and you half-ass it, like some people have, you're going to be wondering why you don't get booked, or when you get booked, no one shows up. I mean, that's how shit goes. I mean, I don't know.
I'm excited. So I have done Night of the Living cover comics. I think this is my third year.
Is it sold out already?
I don't think so.
Yeah. There's only 1,000 tickets left.
There's only 7,000 tickets left.
Yeah.
But this is the first year that I'm like, oh, they got the assignment.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the first year, because the very first year I did it, Carla Vasquez did Gallagher.
That was fantastic.
That was awesome.
Okay.
She went all out.
Here's why I want to prove what I said. Because someone asked me about Night of Living cover comics, and they're like, well, what is that? And I said, well, people, they're comics. And then they go, oh, and every time I use the same example of Carla Vasquez as Gallagher.
No, it was amazing, and unfortunately, we can't have Gallagher. Although I don't think anybody could top Carla as Gallagher. She had a mustache.
Why do you think you can't do it? Because of the...
Oh, well, Dry Heat was like no melons being smashed.
Oh, okay.
the cleanup.
Well,
yeah, we were at Inside Out that year, so it was like
right,
it was okay, and she brought tarps and everything, but she went all out, and she really set the bar pretty high for it. But I don't know. I think this year we have an act that I'm just...
Okay.
Lekka is going to be Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
But she's doing it in her own way.
Okay.
Which I love. Because I like it when people... My favorite thing at Night of the Living cover bands is when they cover somebody, but it's like in their own style.
A little bit, yeah.
Because I think that's fun.
I think that's fun, but I like it both ways.
Yeah. But nobody has done that with Night of the Living cover comics yet. Because, I mean, she's a musician as well as a comedian.
Oh, okay.
So she she's able to like sing and stuff. It's kind of hard with comedy. But I will tell you that I think it is very, at least for like doing somebody else's comedy, it is like discombobulating
Oh yeah, because
to do
especially
it in somebody else's voice.
I here's my thing with it is like comedians all have different rhythms,
yeah.
and so doing somebody else like you know, are you going to try to replicate their rhythm? Because that's where the joke is sometimes.
Yeah. So last year I did Carlin, and I regret that decision every day.
You weren't that bad. What are
It
you
was
talking
hard.
about?
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that I thought like, oh, this is going to be so easy.
No.
Because I've watched him so many times. And then I got up there and I was like, oh my God, if I fuck this up.
I had to explain to someone who George Carlin was the other day, and I felt like I was like, how on earth?
That
would
kills
you?
my soul.
That's because they're too young.
They're too young.
Right?
Well, we asked, and she was like, I'm 29.
Yeah. How is she going to know who George Carlin is?
Well,
And
I
that
mean,
makes me sad
well,
because we're getting to
it's called a show called Thomas the Tank Engine.
Right. Somebody sent me a meme and it was George Carlin like on Thomas the Tank Engine. And this is how young they were.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm going to tell my friends this was George Carlin. And they thought it was funny. And I was like,
And you're like, that is George
that
Carlin.
is
you
George
dumb
Carlin. There's a reason why. Anyway, and they also didn't know who George Carlin was, and they want to be a comedian. I was like, oh my God, here's some videos. Please watch this before you continue.
Shit. I mean, this, you know,
But
you should just give them the documentary too. The documentary's
oh
amazing.
my God, I've watched it 7 times now.
I need to rewatch
and it
it.
cries. It
so
makes
good.
me cry. It cries
So
me
good.
every time.
So you grew up on him as well,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh man, I don't think anybody in my mind is ever gonna top him.
And it's really funny because like we were talking about him, and she's like, "Well, what kind of comedy does he do?" And I was like, "Well,
Oh.
I was like, he does like long form, like essays, and it's all about like, I said like he shits on religion, he shits on politics, and then my girlfriend goes, "Yeah, he's like a curmudgeon comedian," and I was kind of
Yeah.
like, I was like. Yeah, but he's a fucking like, but it's like not just like like I hate this. It's like I hate this and this is why, and then it's genius, and you're like,
And then I also hate the opposite of that as well.
yes, yes,
And that's why he's timeless, is because
Yeah.
he had the not to get all like comedy nerd, but he had the amazing ability of hating everything at once.
yeah,
And finding the funny in every single one of those things.
Right.
And nobody hated him. Well, I think a lot of people actually hated him.
nah,
But-
but he didn't give a fuck.
But if you hated him, you were probably pretty dense.
Yeah.
But this year, I chose something complete opposite, and I'm going to be Minnie Pearl.
Yeah, I feel like that's equally as hard.
I thought it was going to be easy.
Nope.
And I have spent all week practicing how she said howdy. And
Howdy.
I have my bit down, and I picked
do you have
this
the
last
dress
year.
with the big price tag on it?
I do.
Okay.
Well, her hat had the price tag.
The hat had the price tag.
The dress is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
My friend made it.
I feel like that's
So.
who they were basing the character off in Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Well, it was a
Amalgamation?
It was an amalgamation of her, Joan Rivers,
Okay.
and somebody else.
Interesting.
But I was going through her bits because I picked this like a year ago because that's how committed I get. I like want to wear a costume and I want to do the whole thing. And I thought, oh, this will be easy. She was just on like,
What was it? Hee haw.
hee haw.
And now here's Roy. I used to watch. So my grandmother would watch Hee Haw
Yeah.
every day.
I remember he.
That's my grandmother
And-
watched it as well, and
and
that's where I
I-
knew who
As
she
a
was.
as a kid, I was like, "This is fucking terrible." Like, I was like as a kid, I was like,
I hated it as a kid.
"It's terrible, right?" And now
Yeah.
here's Roy. And then like as an adolescent boy, I was like, "Okay, this Hee Haw's not too terrible. There's some things here."
so
Yeah, but like some like Benny Hill things.
Yeah.
here.
Right. Yeah.
I found a bit
Mm-hmm.
that I felt like I didn't hate too much.
Of
And
Minnie Pearl.
yeah, well, there was just how do I say this? It's not. I think she's funny for who she is,
Yeah.
but a bit
She knew her
that
audience.
I could do that I wasn't going to hate by the time the show came.
Gotcha.
And you know, I found it, but
I don't necessarily know that I've ever seen her stand-up comedy.
it's
I just remember her from Hee Haw. Or,
it's a lot of like crowd work, and it's a lot of I don't know. I think the joke in the bit that I picked is basically, you know, she's
Well, don't ruin it
calling
for us.
people. No. I'm saying like I think I had to find the funny by kind of making fun of
Oh,
the bit.
gotcha.
I think that's what I'm going to have to do. But I also found later in life she had a show called Steal My Joke.
Yeah.
And I wrangled Kurt Fletcher into doing something like that with me. Because I'm hosting as her
Yeah.
the whole
whole night.
And I didn't think that through.
Well, how am I bringing you up then?
Well, I was thinking you could be Norm Macdonald on the God mic and bring me up. Or if you want to dress up, you could be Norm Macdonald and you're just going to bring me up. Mm-hmm. We'll figure it out. It'll
Okay.
be fine. That's how comedy works. We don't plan
Interesting.
very well. But
We'll see if I can do the Norm
A
Macdonald.
year in advance.
A year
I
in
never
advance.
even actually thought.
We'll see if
about
I can.
this.
We'll see if I can do the Norm Macdonald impression.
but the costume is going to be, I think that's going to be the
I'll be
killer
all,
this year for me.
I mean, huh? What? What?
Who is this lady?
Minnie Pearl. What? What's going on? You know? You know. Yeah, it's terrible. So Smiley. So you knew Smiley. You've known Smiley since day one.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I saw a picture where you were with his brother, like you were little kids.
We were
How
the
did
kids.
you meet them?
Well, my mom and Smiley's mom were friends.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with him, and his brother, and I was hanging out with his brother when
I think a
Smiley
couple
was-
times in the same house.
Oh yeah, well I used to go over to your house on Saturdays.
Why Saturdays?
Why was I there? I don't know. My mom would drop me off over there. I remember hanging out.
I don't know, but so you would have friends. I have no idea. I was way too young.
You
at this point.
were way too young. We were hanging out over there, running around the ditches, throwing rocks at things, and
Doing what kids do.
doing what kids do.
Because when we were kids, like your parents like go outside, and that
yeah,
meant
pretty
and that gave you that was like
Permission to do anything you want.
go wherever you want.
You can get water out of the tap out there.
Well, no, yeah, you try to come back in the house, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I need water." You get water out of the hose.
Get out from the hose is outside, right?
Yeah, and that fucking water out of the hose was so gross. It had that rubber taste.
Yeah, I drink a lot of hose water.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it.
pee outside.
did I.
You can pee outside. Like if you had to poop, they'd probably let you come in. Yeah. But like other than that, it's like you stay outside. What you're doing outside, I don't give a fuck as long as the cops don't show up, right?
So just stay in
Pretty
the yard.
much.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to stay in the yard.
Oh,
No
I
shit,
had
no,
to.
dude.
I
didn't.
had to stay in the yard.
You had said that you were so.
Didn't-
I mean, I guess, but I was 7 years older than you. That makes
Yeah.
a huge difference when you're a kid.
Well, and then like when you were a kid, like we would ride our bikes everywhere. Like I don't know how the bearings didn't just fucking burn out on the bike that I had, and you'd ride your bike all over town, and then like an older kid would like make you paranoid about something. If you go up to that, if you ride your bike past that house, like the guy will like come out and take your bike.
Come
Oh
on and
my
kick your
gosh.
ass.
Yeah, he'll come out and he doesn't like kids riding their bike, and he'll take your bike, and you're like, just weird shit like that. But you'd go dig through dumpsters, like.
I grew up here at my grandparents' house downtown off of High Street. And there was a guy that I later found out he was like a Vietnam vet or
Oh, okay.
something. But he was at like this corner house. And so we had the witch house. On the way to the witch house
Yeah.
was this guy's
The
house.
witch house.
And we used to like dare each other to ring the doorbell of the witch house.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you live here in Albuquerque,
Oh, yeah.
you know what it is. And then, but on the way to the witch house was this guy who would just throw rocks at us.
Really?
Yeah, because the thing that we didn't know was like the older kids would go and like fuck with him.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older and I understand, I'm like, oh man.
That guy probably had
like,
PTSD. And
yeah.
He's like freaking out. He's like, "You
But
motherfuckers."
man, he was so mean.
Yeah.
Like we would ride by there and he would throw rocks at us. He threw broccoli at us one time.
this.
I don't know what that was about, but I just remember my cousin came to visit from Alabama.
Yeah.
and she claimed she was allergic to grass because she didn't like to cut the grass. I don't know. It was like
man,
a whole
I had
thing.
those cousins too. They were like,
Yeah.
I have allergies and I can't cut the. So I'd always cut my grandmother's grass, but she'd give me like $50.
Yeah.
And that was the best
the
shit ever.
score?
That was a Nintendo game right there, man.
But Chrissy, that was her name. Chrissy came down up, I guess, from Alabama.
Shit ass Chrissy.
And she said she was allergic to walking.
Oh, fuck off on that.
And we were like, come on, there's a witch house up here. We want to show you this like cool house.
all of a sudden
blah,
she
blah,
was not.
So then she was fine. But then we rode our bikes by this house. And that was the day he threw broccoli at us.
Yeah.
And she had also claimed that she was allergic to broccoli.
I feel like she was just allergic to everything except attention.
She was allergic to everything except for Snickers bars, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see.
No offense.
Now she's got the diabetes.
My
I
whole family does.
like the broccoli throwing here.
Yeah, no, and it was so
Yeah.
weird because he had like a case of broccoli. Like it was a week that he
Yeah.
threw broccoli at. But anyway,
Do you
Chrissy,
think he got that on purpose? He's like, and this
don't
week I'm going to throw
know.
broccoli at him.
I just want you to say all this and then at the end be like, but best house for Halloween.
I mean, it was
Great candy.
He would sit out at Halloween. This is where I was going with this. Besides the broccoli, which was more funny than it was scary, except for Chrissy because she was allergic to broccoli.
Apparently.
And walking.
And walking. She had a bad day. But at Halloween, he would dress in his like uniform, put branches on himself, black his face out, and hide. And then when you went anywhere near there, he would like freak out, right? And looking back on that, I think he liked Halloween. I think he was having fun.
Also, I think he had some problems.
I mean, he did, but I think that day, I mean, he went all out. I think he was trying to spook us.
So I feel like, okay, so I have a question about the growing up here in Albuquerque.
I'm going to pelt children with broccoli now. This sounds like an awesome thing.
Right?
Before Don Schrader, has Don Schrader always been a thing?
You know, since I feel like in college, I remember him. I mean, he's been there for
Okay.
I feel like my whole
Was
life he's been
there
around.
was there anybody before Don Schrader?
Oh, I'm curious about
And when I
that.
say anybody, like I grew up in a town. I grew up in Clovis, New Mexico. There was this war vet homeless guy
Yeah.
named Diesel
Yeah.
that everyone knew about. There was another guy named they called him Crazy Eddie. Crazy Eddie rode one of those bikes that's like super long and like you almost lay down on it. Not a recumbent bike, but like it was almost like a chopper bike, but like low to the ground. And he had like all kinds of like tchotchkes all over it, right? And my mom would be like, Crazy Eddie burned his brain out sniffing glue. You know, and like they called him Crazy Eddie, and like someone, you go to school and someone would be like, yeah, they arrested Crazy Eddie the other day. He was out in the intersection directing traffic with a plastic bat. So was there like somebody like that before in Albuquerque? Like
before Don Schrader, like
Yeah.
a local character. I don't
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like everybody, like it's funny. Someone did a meme, and there's always that thing in a town where you show up and you're hanging out with your friend, and there's like a dude with no shirt on riding a horse through town, and everybody's like, oh, that's old shirtless Joe.
Right? I mean, who was before
Yeah.
that? I don't know. I mean, there obviously probably was somebody.
Right. And every town has them.
You know what we should
You might
do?
be asking the wrong people.
I would like for people who listen to this podcast to write us and tell us about their like local like person that everyone knows like about
Yeah.
and like not from like from afar like a Crazy Eddie or like ours is Don Schrader. He's like he wears only like jorts and walks around with leathery skin pulling a wagon. Like everyone knows who Don Schrader. Everyone in like if you don't
he's amazing.
yeah. Have you photographed?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you have.
Every time I see him, I photograph.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my grandpa is 93 years
Oh,
old.
okay.
His dad, I think, built the house that was on High Street. He at
Okay.
least built the crazy ass basement that was under it. I'm gonna ask him if there was some like crazy character because
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows of somebody.
So, I've never met Smiley's brother. I've heard stories of Smiley's
We
brother.
weren't sure if Smiley's brother existed.
No, I know he exists. I've heard many stories, but where were the Smiley and his brother like growing up?
You know, like I said, there was such a big age difference when we
Yeah.
were kids. Smiley was always there, but as more of like a little kid.
Yeah. Was he the one tagging along?
I feel like you're even too young to be tagging along. When
Really?
we're hanging out, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's I think me and Matt are
What do you-
7.5 years.
7.5 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Difference. So yeah, it was basically.
Well, how long were you friends with like his brother? Like a couple years?
no, I mean for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
from on and off, we hung out from when we were small children
Wow.
until kind of maybe he moved away. I mean, I remember doing crazy car chase things with him when I in high school, and your mom had that Astro van.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we would put that thing up on two wheels,
man,
dude.
that
What?
thing was amazing. He'd drive that thing like it was a race car.
Oh man, it was insane. My brother's a good driver.
Okay.
That's talent.
Were
Yeah.
you around for the bar when they had the bar?
Yeah.
Carlos on the hill?
I remember the bar.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and Smiley was working there.
Yeah,
That was when you were just 21. Were you even 21 then?
I was 22, I think, when we opened the bar.
You were 22. Okay.
Yeah.
home of the meat waffle.
Home of the meat waffle. Welcome to Harlow's.
I saw, and like I thought he was full of shit, and I saw, and then somehow like a flyer popped up, and
I
it
found
said,
one of the old flyers.
"Yeah, home of the meat waffle" on there.
I remember the bar.
See, the Smiley has, I don't know if you know the reputation on this show, but Smiley has a reputation of this thing where like he'll say things and then like they're outlandish, but
And
they're
nuts.
they're actually true.
They're actually true.
Those
Okay.
are the
And-
ones that are true.
We'll get these people that will go and like write a review of the show, and they're like, "Great show, let Smiley talk more," and it's like I'm not dominating. Like Smiley's not over here like waiting to talk. And I'm just like rolling, some steam rolling over him. Smiley talks when he wants to, but then he like when he does, like people are always like,
He
you know,
drops some knowledge.
well, no,
Or-
Oh yeah.
no.
No.
it's usually like something crazy,
It's something completely crazy.
and then
Or
you
he'll
know,
tell a completely normal story that sounds like something that could have actually happened, and those are the ones that are made up.
the suspect story.
I'll tell a Smiley story.
Oh,
Please do.
please do.
They'll love
A
this.
long time ago, Radio Shack used to sell these little science kits that you could build things with. Radios.
I fucking
etc.
remember that.
You could also electrify stuff. With it.
Oh gosh.
And Smiley was a victim in this
no.
child electrocution scheme. That was, his brother and I, we made this thing, and
Yeah.
it could shock you. And I feel like we rigged it up so it shocked you when you touched your bed. Do you remember this?
I do.
Yeah,
That's why he is the way he is.
and I would say it was mostly Matt. I was just kind of there,
Uh-huh.
but I participated a little
Yeah.
bit. But there was some shocking.
I'm sure he's like, let's shock my little brother.
That was exactly what it was. He was like,
Wow.
I just need an extra person to make this feel okay for myself.
Wow.
To
Well,
shock my little brother.
yeah, as you do, right?
as you know,
It wasn't like
younger
a
brothers
big
get
shock.
tortured sometimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big shock. Yeah, I always hung out with Nikki because that was the
Because you guys were closer in age.
Who was
So
Nick-
that's
who
what-
was-
so,
who was
so that's
Nicky?
my younger brother.
Oh, okay.
So that's right. So you two were closer because
Oh.
you guys
Yeah,
were closer in age. Yeah.
yeah.
So that makes sense.
You
Interesting.
hung out with my older brother, and I hung out
Well,
with
what
your
was like?
younger
What was
brother.
like the family situation growing up? I mean, it was his mom.
Well, we both had we were both there with single moms
Yeah.
with two boys, and
Sounds like chaos.
I feel like we spent time hanging out at each other's houses.
Yeah.
So, just growing up, they'd be at our house, we'd be at their house.
Yeah.
I
that
guess
kind of
everyone
thing.
just needed a babysitter at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's
to
what it
me.
was. Your mom was doing watching of us on the weekends or something. Maybe that's why we were always over there hanging
Yeah.
out on Saturdays or something. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations that you become friends because your parents are like, well, then, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and, and your mommy's, but they were friends, and besides, they hung out. I mean, they knew each other since maybe I don't even know.
I have no idea.
What's
since before you were born. Yeah.
What's Smiley's brother like?
He's really tall.
Weird. Okay.
That is true.
Wait, and in the picture, he's like towhead. He's like blonde. He's like
Yep, he is.
yeah.
he is a blonde guy.
Yeah.
He's got those nice blue eyes.
What?
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me.
Dude, I have green eyes.
Well,
He's
I
got
mean,
nice eyes too.
Yeah.
He's just hiding them with those sunglasses.
Oh, that's because of this.
Oh. Ooh.
Oof.
Oh.
Can I take a picture of that?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no
good.
problem.
Yeah.
It's
I
not.
like
He
that.
wears those fucking all the time anyway.
I do, actually.
What happened though? It's like
I
did you get
have
hit in the
n-
eye?
I have no idea what happened. I don't know why this happened. I woke up this way.
Oh shit.
oh
Or is
damn.
Oh.
Is that pink eye?
It looks like I may have gotten like I don't know.
For people listening, Smiley's eye is red in the white part of the eye.
The sclera.
Jesus, it's really rough, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, dude. I saw it today, and I was
looks like you got punched in the fucking eye.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
No,
it,
not
it
at all.
doesn't hurt. Yeah, it looks painful.
Do you have allergies?
I didn't notice it until I do have allergies.
Okay, so I had this happen when I lived in Old Town, where what is it? The fucking juniper murdering tree.
Yes.
Which I hate that tree. Like I woke up one day and the whole white part of my eye was bloodshot, and like not bloodshot, like fucking
Kind of like that.
Yeah, and it would hurt to go out in the sun.
Well, I already have that.
No, I had no. Like pain. I had to go buy the old people glasses that fit over my glasses, the sunglasses. So what I finally did, if it keeps up, is I went and got eye wash solution, and what I think happened is I got pollen in my
your
eye, and I had to wash it out, and it finally went away. And I mean, it was a month. It was painful. Like
I just thought I sneezed too hard.
that could be. I mean,
It could be
and there's a lot of different things, but I mean, if it could be allergies, you know.
There's a lot of fun
Because it's
things
for
that happen when
for
you're-
everybody who doesn't know, and we're sitting in October, and it's still getting up to like 80 degrees. Like we're almost at
Yeah.
the end of October, and it's like 80 fucking degrees here.
Yeah.
My plants are still
Unusual.
blooming.
Yeah, like I'm still taking allergy pills, and it's driving me crazy. I'm like, what is it?
My
It is-
allergy pills this year stopped working. What the hell is that shit?
I would switch to heroin.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor though, but you know.
No, that'll happen over time, though.
Yeah.
You'll need to get new ones.
It feels like every
different
couple
ones.
years I have to like
Go to-
switch to something. I
just
don't
take
know.
Benadryl. You know, like you just pass out. You know?
I don't need to function or anything. My
Everybody's
son
like,
will just-
you have allergies? Have you taken Benadryl? And it's like I've taken Benadryl, and they're like,
Yeah.
what? You don't think it works? I'm like, it does, because you just go to sleep,
You just
and
fall
yeah,
I won't even notice my allergies.
I don't even know if it like clears up the allergies.
No.
It just makes me fall asleep.
you're just asleep. Yeah,
This is my favorite thing about Benadryl. If you can't get actual Benadryl, you can just buy sleeping pills because
Yeah.
it's the same thing. I'm not.
you can just
making
drink.
that up.
You can just drink NyQuil.
No. I'm not making it up. It's the exact same thing.
I'll tell you this though, like
sleeping pills are just cheaper.
if my allergies are bad enough, I will take a Benadryl like right before bed, just like
Yeah.
you know. 'Cause
I
it, you know,
can't do that because I have children.
you just give them the Benadryl.
Wait, they can't.
I'm just kidding.
Didn't you just see this
Just
example
kidding.
here? Like at some point they can just take care of each other,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know.
Does your kid have a bike? I'm just kidding.
I don't know if you've met my children, but they are nuts.
See, here's what's weird about the difference, right?
Yeah.
As us kids, like we were like we had no way to communicate with our parents whatsoever. If something bad happened and we're like far away from home on our bike, right?
Yeah.
These kids now have a phone. They could call the parents
Oh,
if
my
something
kid
happens,
doesn't have a
but they
phone.
won't even let them like leave like the vicinity like that.
Yeah.
They
Like,
can't even leave the yard.
If my kid had a phone,
yeah.
I would let her explore.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
But let me just tell you why that's also not good. Because the internet is a weird place.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
And my child is very smart, the oldest one. And I feel like if we gave her free reign with a cell phone,
She'd start her own business.
she would do something. Like she
okay.
she is so smart and cute, and like she knows how to talk her way into and out of anything she does.
She got me to hand feed her chicken nuggets.
She did, and she was like 4 then. She has really honed her craft now. And get her a phone so then she could like go and hang out with her little friends in the neighborhood like we used to do. And then we were like,
Build a
shit.
fort. I mean, I built so many forts
Yeah,
growing
but the
up.
thing is, the kids
Fortune
aren't
great.
doing that shit now. Like, even if they get together, the kids are so weird.
They're just watching fucking iPads.
They like stare at each other.
yeah.
And then if they do play games, like imagination games, like she has Barbies and all this stuff, but like even that, it's like listening to them play is
Yeah.
so
It's weird.
different. And they're like, they just want to order things,
Dude, my
or
mom
buy things.
My mom, this is not
Yeah.
a made up story. My mom smoked, and she would tell me, "I need you to go to All Subs and get me a pack of cigarettes."
Yeah, super common.
That's
Yeah.
normal.
That's
And I would
totally
ride my bike
Or it was.
miles. A couple, like, just 5 miles
Yeah.
to all subs. But I got to get candy. Mm-hmm. And I'd get me kid cocaine.
Yeah.
And I'd come back and it always got the wrong goddamn cigarettes.
Oh, no.
Every fucking, then I had to go back. She'd be all, nope.
You know what that would be now? You know what that would be now?
What?
Child abuse. I'm
Absolutely.
not even kidding.
Oh, no, yeah.
But so here's
I mean, I said it then.
here's I'm sure you did.
All right.
This is child abuse.
Well, isn't it what, dude? Like, it just you pen. Like, do I have to pen a note to your chest?
Oh, my mom would be so mad. She'd be all, these are not the gold pack. Oh, no.
So did you have to go back and get the right ones?
Yeah. Fucking hated it every time.
I should really have my child come on and we can tell her stories of what, because I made her pick up the 5 things on her floor yesterday.
Yeah.
And she was like, I do everything around this house.
Okay.
And I about fell over. I was like, are you shitting me?
Oh.
You don't have to do dishes.
So
anyway.
you guys went and got cigarettes for your mom? That was the thing?
Not for my mom, but for my neighbor's mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
we,
yeah.
we'd go down to the 7-Eleven on Central and
Oh,
University and buy cigarettes, and with the leftover money, we
Yeah.
could spend it on candy.
Fuck yeah.
And-
or garbage pail kids.
And I'd walk down that. That's been 5 years old. I was 5. He was probably about 6 or 7. He was a little older than me, and I remember going there to buy his mom cigarettes.
And like people would like flip out if like your kid just walked down to the 7-Eleven, not even buying the cigarettes. They would just flip out. They'd be like, you let your kids walk by themselves down to the store?
No, you can't even let your kids walk to the neighbor's house now.
Yeah.
That's like a real thing.
It's so crazy, but it's a real thing. You know, I mean, but how many of those kids walking to get cigarettes never made it back?
Yeah. And
I mean, that's what Darwin,
happens,
it's a
right?
Darwin thing. Yeah.
Hey, now.
I'm kidding.
No, I have a friend. She was older than me. I met her when I lived in Estancia, and her daughter actually got kidnapped.
Oh, that sucks.
But I mean, so there's things like that, but also like, I don't know. I feel like my child also talks to everybody, and she tells them everything about her life.
Oh,
Well, also, I'm pretty sure we all had pocket knives at the time too.
Oh,
It's
that's
like-
true.
Oh God,
yeah.
I can't trust her with a pocket. Anyway, but here's the weird thing about this is one thing. This is a real conversation my husband and I had. We were like, okay, we should maybe think about like getting her a phone so she can like,
yeah.
do whatever it is that kids do.
Do they not have like a starter phone where they
they
can only kind of do
do.
certain things?
I think they have where you can only like receive
Yeah.
phone calls with your parents or something.
And like they have those, but
It's like for kids and like old people.
yeah,
It has
it's
like,
the
it has like
jitterbug.
one button for 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one.
Jitterbug.
It's the
there.
jitterbug.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We have noticed, so we were like, she would totally figure out a way to like order crap.
Yeah.
So what we have noticed is like when I was a kid, there were toys that I like
Yeah.
really wanted, and I had to like earn them, and I was so excited to have them, and I would play with them like till the wheels fell off,
Yeah.
literally. Like one year, it was for me, it was like the Ninja Turtles news van that shot pizzas out of it.
Oh
had
yeah,
that?
man.
I did.
Rich people.
remember that.
And, well, my grandparents got it at their house for all the kids, but I said it was mine. And they just don't
That
have.
works.
Nobody likes a shared present.
I know. But now it's like they have all these really cool things. Like Barbies are so cool now.
Right.
Polly
Oh,
Pocket's so
dude,
cool
I was at
now.
I was at the store. I saw that. How about this? How would you feel if you were the parent
Yeah.
of the kid
Yeah.
that started unboxing toys on YouTube?
Oh, I would be so mad.
Have you heard of this kid?
Oh, this is the kid that makes like $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
a
no,
month or
like
something?
8 or 9 million. Yeah, like a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, how do you feel if you're the? I mean, first of all, you're probably like, hell.
I mean,
yeah.
if they make money, I don't care. Because here's the thing, they don't play with anything anymore. So like they have all these things out now that
Yeah.
they seem cool, right? Like I don't know, they're like surprise things, and you open them. They even have them for Barbie where
Right.
it's like a reveal. That's all they want. So that you buy them this crap that costs money.
Yeah.
And then they open it and then it's over because
Right.
they're all watching that stupid millionaire YouTube
Well,
kid.
Oh, they just want to open it and then
They just want to
Yeah.
open it and see what they got, and then they
Too many
never play
choices.
with it again.
Well, and then like,
Yeah,
and
too
like,
many
I sat
choices.
there and thought about this. I was like, so there's things like I remember when like Twitch became a thing, and I was like, what was it called before it was Twitch? It's really crazy because it was like Mike TV or something.
Yeah.
And then either they sold it or they pivoted it and they turned it into Twitch. because they realize like people want to watch other people play video games, which I to this day still don't understand. Except for I'm sitting there on Facebook one day, and like every once in a while a video pops up and you click on it, and then like if you're on there and like it ends and like the next one pops up, there's a dude, and by the way, it's over there folded up, but I now have a car simulation set up over there. Like you can sit down and drive a car. I have the projector. This dude has that kind of stuff, and he plays a long haul trucking game.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah, and he's got the fucking gear because you can buy gear shifters, different gear shifters. Right? He's got the long haul, and like at first I'm like, now who watches this? 14 minutes later, I'm like, oh, watch out for that car. Like I'm watching this dude long haul truck from like Sacramento to like San Diego, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of
It's horrible. I've come across that, and I don't watch that. I don't watch people play video games, but I know exactly. I've seen that.
And he's like, we're gonna take this truck. We're gonna take it from Denver to. And you're like, oh,
and people watch them though.
Millions of people.
He's like a long haul truck video game streamer.
So until I had kids, there were a lot of things that perplexed me. Right.
Yeah.
So like this, watching other people play video games. Watching other kids play on a playground.
Yeah.
I get it now, kind of, because my kids don't have anxiety about trying new things at a playground.
Yeah.
Okay. But my son and I and my husband are now into these stupid fucking videos where this guy makes ungodly money, I'm sure. But he takes like Hot Wheels and he'll put it on a treadmill, and then he races it.
Oh,
against
those are
stuff.
amazing. Those are amazing. Not
like,
just Hot Wheels, all
no,
kinds of.
Like he does like a roll of tape.
Yeah,
and like,
the Mach 5.
Yeah.
I'm already into it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
It sounds interesting.
So my husband showed it to our toddler because, you know, like he gets bored.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, fuck, I want to watch this like football game or whatever. And my son will sit there and watch these and cheer for them.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets so into it. And then
I watched one yesterday with the roll of tape was the Mach 5 where like at the end I was like, this Mach 5 better beat that fucking tape.
So then I come in
I
the
watched
room.
one with my brother and his nephew. Or my nephew, I'm sorry. His son, my nephew. That was the same thing. I was like, which one's going to win?
Yeah. So I go in the room and these two are like cheering for what looked like trash. Yeah. And I was like, what the
But you get invested in it because it's
and
like
then
the tape almost goes off the treadmill and then it comes back and wins and you're like, what the fuck?
My husband was like, no, just give it a chance.
Yeah.
This is better than sports. And I was like,
you know what? You know what I really got into?
That's crazy.
What I really got into during the shutdown was there's a guy on YouTube and he builds these elaborate tracks.
Yes.
And he races marbles.
Yes.
And they're all different color marbles. And he commentates the whole time.
Yes.
And you're just like, man, I hope that fucking cat eye wins. You're like, oh my God. It took it over. And you're like, and it's all gravity. It's like, oh my God.
And you know what was cool about that during the shutdown, though, is because the kids were like all at home and they were seeing stuff like that. All of a sudden, my kid was like, I want to race marbles. And we're like, sure, we'll buy you a marble racing set.
Marbles are cheap as shit.
Hell yeah. But oh my God, I get so into the garbage racing each other and the marbles and but it's so why it's like what we were talking about earlier is like the internet is just so full of like crazy things and I'm here for it.
So the reason because of YouTube. Well, no, I was in Best Buy one day, and you know I played video games my whole life. There's always been car racing games.
Yeah,
and they came out with the wheels and like you know you buy a wheel thing for your PlayStation 1 and it sucked and it was hard and it didn't work well. So one day I'm in Best Buy. And I'm looking at something else, and I'm like, "Oh, there's one of those racing wheels, that are shit." I go up and I like hit start, and it fucking like as you turn, it like fucking
force response,
and I'm like, "Oh, hello,
That's cool.
Hello."
But are we going to be able to play the long haul trucker game on it?
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know why that's so exciting. But.
So I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm going to build a racing simulator in the studio, and she goes, okay. Okay. And I don't think she understood what I was saying. So I have the whole cockpit. I have the racing wheel and it has the feedback. And I don't have the like anything else. There's like the low, mid, and high versions of these things. But I have like the low, the starter thing, and like I don't have the gear shifter, but it has paddle shifters on it, and it has the pedals, and like you can sit down in this like you're sitting in a car, and it brings me immense joy. If I went around, like, because it's harder, because you literally like growing up, you're like, I'm just gonna floor it and race that way and zoom around, and you have to actually like
What is going on?
I don't know. I don't know if that somebody did that watching or we did that. There was like fireworks that just went off. But like, maybe I said joy. I don't know. Anyway, you have to like literally throttle like through turns correctly. You have to like do all shit. It is so fucking awesome.
More like real driving.
Yes.
Makes it exciting now.
And like, I didn't like the game Forza Horizon 5. Didn't like it. And I got the wheel, and I've been playing the new Forza regular, which is like Gran Turismo for people who have PlayStation.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So Forza Horizon is like more of a, it's Gran Turismo, but like you're not just on tracks. You like drive all over the countryside, whatever. And since I got that wheel, I now like the Horizon more than I like, because like I'm going to drive across country, and I want a Bronco really bad. So in the game, I have a souped up Bronco, and I'm just like driving it across the country. And
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't understand video games, but I have a feeling any day now, my toddler son is going to ask to play Minecraft or something.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Jason,
is
that Slenga?
Yes.
Is there a car game that just lets you haul up 25 and shit on Colorado chili? There's not a video game, but if you live stream it, I'll watch it.
I love Jason
I'll long haul
Slenga.
watch it.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to learn how to appreciate video games.
Yeah.
Because my husband plays, and I have a joke about it on stage where I just talk about how ridiculous I think it is. My husband plays FIFA.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but not just FIFA. He likes to be the manager
There's
of the
no.
team.
There's actual like just games that are just you're the manager of the game.
Yeah, no,
Of the team.
he fucking loves it, and it stresses him out. He still plays the
He's like,
game.
I made a trade and I just don't know if it's gonna work out.
And there
I
are
wanna-
days he is so sorry. He is so stressed out
Yeah.
about being the manager of a fake soccer team.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
We're just not going to win the championship
Stop
this year. It's
playing it,
It's
then.
it's a rebuilding year. It's a rebuilding year.
I don't understand at all. And he gets the new version. It so happens that it drops every year on his birthday.
Oh.
So he gets it every year. And then he spends the next few months just so stressed. And then the transfer window happens. Plus, he's also watching real soccer where he's also stressed about the real transfer window. And I don't get it, but I have a feeling my son is going to be
All right.
the same fucking way.
I'll explain after Smile.
Oh, okay. I get that because there's this game called Papers, Please.
Yeah.
That I freaking love. I'm obsessed with it, and you know what it is?
What?
It is checking IDs, which is my
No.
actual freaking job. And it's like, how good can you
Who
get at
made
checking?
that, though?
It's called Papers, Please, and it's like whether or not you let people into your country. And that the entire
God.
job is just me checking to make sure that all your
I'm Googling this right now because I know everybody is like, no, this sounds ridiculous. No, this is
But-
probably
Oh,
a
it's
real
probably
thing.
super popular.
I love that game. It's
So,
it's
I'm gonna-
cathartic for me.
yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm going to explain to Holly Ann why he likes this game.
Yes, please do.
Because he watches real soccer, and when
Yeah.
they make a trade or something that he doesn't like,
Yeah.
it angers him.
Yeah.
In this way, he feels like he has control.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any control. That's why he gets anyway.
I'm just
it's a
telling you.
whole
I'm just
thing.
telling you. He's like,
he
he's
has
like,
a notebook. He takes notes. He does. It is
He's serious about this.
no.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
has he
my
won the
friend.
championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what?
I mean, is this a rebuilding year? Or is this what's happening?
this year I had to hear all about.
Are the critics all against him? They don't
Well,
think they're
so
gonna
what
win?
he's doing this year is he made Ian, our son, into a soccer player. and he is starting his career from the ground up. And what I thought was so ridiculous was the other day he was like, and just I want everybody to know, like, this is not me shitting on my husband.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's great that he does this. I just personally don't understand. So he is building a imaginary Ian into a soccer player, and he's starting him from like the Scotland Badgers or something.
A low-level shit team.
And
to
then
build him into a champion.
He wants him to go to Liverpool, which is the dream. And sometimes
you don't understand it.
Sometimes I worry that he doesn't realize what's real and what's not.
Oh yeah, he
You
does.
know, I feel like sometimes he takes his anger out on Ian the next day at breakfast. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say because like I remember
real
playing.
dark.
There was an NCAA football game back in the day. I think they're finally coming back out with it again.
Yeah.
But they had to take it. They had to stop doing it because the athletes sued and were like, you know, we want to get paid too. Anyway, like I went to Eastern New Mexico University, so we would like Billy and I would create ENMU on the game.
It's crazy.
And then, you know, they start out as like a 1-star. Because
Yeah.
like ENMU is like a Division II shit football team.
Yeah.
And they start out as like a 1-star school. And like your goal is like, I want to build them up and I want to beat like Bucket, Alabama.
Yeah.
And like that's a thing. I mean, it's
is.
a guy thing maybe.
It's
I
a
don't
guy
know.
thing. I don't know. But the thing that blew my mind, and this is where I was going before I decided to write a joke on the show. He was like, can I get your input on like, should he develop an app or make a nonprofit? And I was like, is this a thing?
And you're all
game?
nonprofit.
No, I said app.
Oh, okay.
You know, this
Okay.
little man in the nappies here.
Can I tell you what I would like to do if I was going to do a Twitch channel?
Yes.
So like
Papers, please.
there's a YouTube guy that does like WWE 2K and like he creates like there's in the game you can do Royal Rumbles and like you don't have to compete, you could just watch it. Like you could set up the lineup and just watch it. And this is what this guy does, and he does it on YouTube. And he'll create like all of the horror icons. And then he'll have them like simulation, like he'll just like let it go and let you know, if you get thrown over the top, you're eliminated. So then at the end, it's like Freddy Krueger has won the horror battle royal, and people watch the shit out of this, right? So I would create all of like the people of downtown, like me, like Smiley, like you, like Brian Banks, like Nathaniel, Barney, Stu. Joe Anderson, and
I've seen them.
And like then we would do like battle royal,
God.
like simulation battle royals.
Like the horror one, I understand.
Or he does like all fat wrestlers.
Oh, I love.
Or all like super muscle wrestlers, and then people and like I've watched it like 20 times. This guy's YouTube channel. I'm like, okay, I want to see.
I mean, I kind of understand that stuff a little better.
Or
than...
he does like all like comedian, like he did like one that I think it was comedian. Yeah, they do all like he does all kind of like.
I need to look that
and
up.
And like the thing is like this took a lot of time because he had to sit there and create like all the people that are competing in this, and like sometimes they're pretty close.
Yeah.
To look like them, but like it's pretty fun. It's fun to watch because it's like silly because you're like, he's like, oh, Jerry Seinfeld just threw out Dave Chappelle, you know?
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna talk about. Okay, so first of all, Trip Stelnicki, who is one of my favorite local comedians, and we had him on the show recently.
Yeah.
He's opening for Mark Maron in a few weeks, which I am so excited for.
Nice.
And I actually had somebody send me a message, and they were like, "How do you feel about this?" And you could tell that they were like digging. They were not a comedian, just so everybody knows. And it's been really cool to see all the comedians in his comments just like congratulating him.
Through their teeth. They're like,
no.
Just kidding.
We have a pretty supportive scene. And I always think like a win for one of us is a win for all of us. But Jerry Seinfeld is coming.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Is someone opening for him?
I have no idea, but okay. Mark Maron tickets are $45 a piece.
I feel like we could do a whole hour on this.
Oh my God!
Because I am so angry about this.
It's so annoying. So
have you seen? You know, Jerry Seinfeld's coming, right?
I don't know. So what are the tickets like? $500.
Oh, so let's start at the cheapest.
Yeah.
The cheapest tickets, $191.
Expensive.
for Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Mark Maron, $45. No
The
matter
most
where
expensive.
you're at.
The most expensive.
Is Jerry Seinfeld known for his stand-up?
Yeah. Yes.
He has
I mean,
jokes about
I
socks.
just remember he dated a teenager and nobody was mad about
Yeah,
it.
nobody said a
No one
thing.
ever got mad about it.
Is that right? Like,
No, it's
everyone's
not
cool with
right.
it? I mean, I know it's not, but I
But-
mean, wasn't she like 15 and he was
Yeah.
like he was like a
Yeah.
30-year-old like?
Well,
comedian?
here's the other aspect of this. This dude,
I don't want to support that.
Right.
I was a huge fan of the TV show, but like Larry David wrote that show.
Right, he's got a TV show.
But-
Is he even known for his stand-up?
Yes.
Okay, I guess not.
That's
In
how
some
I mean, he
circles.
was a stand-up comedian on the TV
That was the
show.
whole premise of the
yeah,
TV
that's
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you look up the net worth of Jerry Seinfeld,
yeah.
he's like $980 million net worth.
Yeah.
Still making money off of the TV show.
Yeah.
And he comes to one of the poorest states in the country, and who in the fuck is paying $500 for the front seats?
Yeah.
Because I feel like people should be out in that parking lot hanging out, see what those kind of cars are like.
I don't
Not
know.
saying people do anything, but I'm just saying, Jesus Christ! Like it's the Kiva. So I mean, and if it sells out, that is a fucking lot of money. Does he
Yeah.
want to be a billionaire? Is that the
I mean,
point?
probably. Well, and this is what bothers me. I don't want to say. So I always say that like only a hack would attack somebody for the type of comedy they do, right? Like so, like Carrot Top, whatever. It's not my cup of tea. I'll make fun of it, but like
Hey,
at
Carrot
the
Top.
end of the day, I have to like respect his hustle, whatever. But when I look at Mark Maron
Yeah.
versus Jerry Seinfeld, just like the amount of god levels that
Yeah.
Mark Maron is to me, I would spend $100 to see Mark Maron. I would
David
not.
Cross.
Oh yeah,
He's at the Lindsay, and he's like 80, 90 bucks.
and I would spend that. But
$191
I
for
think
the
it
cheap,
also- I think
for
it-
the bleeds.
I think it also kind of tells you about their character.
Yeah.
Because like I don't see Mark Maron ever charging $190.
Well,
for
he
a
doesn't. He
ticket.
doesn't have a Porsche collection. He's got to maintain. I guess.
I don't see him do. I mean, I don't know, but it just bothered me so hard
Yeah.
that Jerry Seinfeld is charging $190. I can't see like what demographic is that, because even my dad,
No,
I don't think he would go.
rich white people.
I mean, my dad.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Who else goes?
Who
to
else
see
goes to that?
Jerry
But anyway,
Seinfeld?
go buy a ticket to Mark Maron. Sell that.
Where's
shit
that at?
I believe that's at the
Chemo. Oh yeah, I saw the wallflowers at Chemo a couple weeks ago, and it's amazing.
Yeah. But
Super
yeah,
fun.
also like you're getting Mark Maron and Trip Stelnicki, and Trip Stelnicki is fucking amazing.
That's fantastic.
So,
Well, let's get out of here. It's time to go.
I guess. I
He's-
gotta go check on hamsters.
I hope Brandon's watching now. I hope Brandon heard all the good things I said about the Blink 182 set last night. So
Hell yeah.
I filmed one of the songs, the first one of the songs in its entirety in 4K 60 frames for him. So
Wow.
because I'm a nice guy. But I want to thank Nathaniel for coming on the show. Check out his
Thank you for having me.
check out his Instagram page. And what's your website again?
It's link in the bottom. Actually,
Oh dang!
it's what is it? It's,
you're supposed to go like this.
Nathaniel
You go
Paolinelli
the link.
.com.
Do it
Link up
again. I'm
here.
sorry.
Link up
Yeah,
here.
say it again. I'm sorry.
It's myname.com, NathanielPaolinelli.com.
I was gonna do a joke where you're like, you look like right here. It's gonna be right here. And Holly Ann and I Live in Cover Comics this Friday,
Yes.
which I will also be at.
Yes, and go to Dry Heat Comedy abq.com or Dry Heat.
And Smiley and I will be on stage and I Live in Cover Bands Saturday.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Wow.
Saturday for different things. For
Busy
different things.
week.
Very busy week. Come out and see us. I want to thank everybody for listening. And with that, we
are
are
10 drink minimum.